Christmas 15 days away, and Hanukkah starts even sooner, and that's next Sunday.
Yeah, and if you've got a lot of shopping still left to do, you may need some help. You know what? And that's why we have smart shopping expert Trey Bodge for joining us this morning. And thank you so much for joining us. You know what? We need some help here because there are just 15 days left to go. Not a lot of time, but for us late shoppers, me, Molly. Okay, Molly, there you go. Can we still find the gifts that we need?
Yes, we can. So thanks so much for having me. It is actually a great season to still get gifts. I'm seeing a lot of sales from major retailers, especially on winter apparel, holiday themed items, toys. And what I would also suggest is, of course, go to your favorite retailers to see what sales they're offering, but look if you can save more with a deal site. So for example, slickdeals.net, who I work with, they have 12 million people voting up and vetting the deals at any given time. I placed an order at Macy's the other day and I got 15% cash back on top of sales that Macy's was already having. So it's a great opportunity to save right now.
I love that because not only am I a procrastinator, I'm also a bargain shopper, and sometimes you can't do them both at the same time. So, it happens a lot every single year. We get a gift that we don't necessarily need, but we have to return it. So that whole process and thinking about that, how does that work, when after Christmas is over and some of these holidays are over?
Yeah, so returns, something really important to know is timing. So a lot of the bigger retailers offer a return window through at least mid-January or to the end of January. So that's kind of your sweet spot, right? So my suggestion would be to go early in the month of January because the crowds will be a little bit lighter. You'll be able to get through a little bit more quickly versus going right after Christmas, for example, when you're going to have crowds and lines and maybe grumpy people at the return desk as well.
You know what? Returning gifts is kind of uncomfortable.
It is.
It really is. But can you give us like the best tips for how to do that? I know you kind of sort of hedge that a little bit, but is there a way that specifically we need to know about how to return gifts and where to do that most effectively?
Yeah. So first of all, because we're obviously talking about this before the holidays, you want to try to give gifts that people don't want to return. And so my suggestion here would be if you don't know what to give someone, don't guess. So gift cards are a great option. Cash gifts, spending money, those are all very safe options. There's actually a really cool one called Giftya. It's Giftya, and it's spending money for your recipient's favorite store. Their holiday personalization to it. It gets delivered by text or email. So that's a really good way to avoid the return. So getting back to the returning itself, if you do find yourself in a position where you have to return something, if the giver gave you a gift receipt, bring that with you. That puts you in a great position to get full value back on that gift. The other thing that I would say, with or without a receipt, make sure that that item is in as sellable condition as possible. So the retailer can simply just take it and put it back on the shelf. So tags on, or at least with the item, in the box if it came in a box. Anything that you can do to make it easy on the retailer will make it better for you in the long run as well.
That covers returning items in store, but what if we're trying to return something online? So many of us do online shopping, especially around the holidays.
Yeah, so online is becoming very interesting. We went through a long period where a lot of retailers would offer free return shipping. And then actually a few months ago, we started seeing a lot of retailers saying like, oh, I'll give you the credit, but just keep it. Because the reason why that's happening is that so many of us are shopping online and so many of us are returning that it becomes very expensive for online retailers to handle those returns. And so now they're in a position where several retailers, and big ones at that, are starting to charge return shipping fees. So if you do have to return something online, be very aware of what you might have to pay to send that item back. And then you might opt, if you have the time, to return that item in store instead, just because you don't want to pay that $7.58 $8 for return shipping, and then you have so much less to get back on that gift you're giving back.
All right, Trey Bodge, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Expert in smart shopping. We could all use that, right?
Oh, my gosh. That was such useful information. It really was. I mean, it is uncomfortable to think about.